Welcome to our daily walk in wisdom. We're in the Psalms. We're still there. We're going to be here for a little while longer. We've now come to Psalm 101. Remember, Psalms, or our worship, releases the power of heaven. Praise, worship, gets a hold of God like nothing else can. And so today, there is a wisdom that God has for us, something that he wants to add, build into our lives, make us strong, make us wise. And this psalm is all about integrity. Really, it's 12 rules of integrity for our lives. Integrity is not something that comes cheap. It doesn't arrive in an instant. You can't pray for the gift of integrity and find it suddenly manifest within your life. You have to work at it. You have to apply yourself to it. The theological word for integrity, the New Testament word, is sanctification. The Orthodox word, the Greek Orthodox word for it, is nepsis. The word nepsis originally means to have no wine. It carries with it that same sense that the Nazirite vow had, where if you took a Nazirite vow, then you weren't allowed to cut your hair, and you weren't allowed to have anything from the fruit of the vine. So it means to be sober-minded, to be alert, to be vigilant. It carries that sense of watchfulness. For the ancient fathers, the early fathers of the church, the basic prerequisite for growth in the spiritual life required a constant attitude of nepsis, or of watchfulness. If you wanted to be free of the control of the passions, if you didn't want to be drunk with anger or with envy or jealousy, then you have to watch yourself. The deepest part of you, this is how God has made us, with a deep inner part, our spirit, or our nous, N-O-U-S, our nous, or our internal heart. That's the instrument whereby we keep watch over all of our thoughts. There is a part of you that can watch over your thoughts. How about that? Deeper than just your intelligence or your rationale, something far deeper than that. It can watch what you think and what you desire, and it can bring everything within you to the place of unity whereby you can sustain a life of integrity. And so quickly now, we need to go through these 12 rules for integrity, the 12 rules for life. The first one, rule number 1, verse 1a, it says, I will sing of your love and justice. So love and justice, or we could just as easily say grace and truth, are the foundations of all integrity. We must desire that our lives be built upon love and justice, upon grace and truth. The second rule is humility. To you, O Lord, it says in verse 1, and the latter part of verse 1, to you, O Lord, I will sing praise. You say, well, what has that got to do with humility? Quite simply, the worshipping person, the worshipping man, the worshipping woman, recognizes that they have a place in life that is subordinate to God. And so worship is the evidence of humility. And humility is the third foundation of integrity. Next comes watchfulness. We've been talking about nepsis. Verse 2, very first part, it says, I will be careful to lead a blameless life. So watchfulness, watch yourself. You can't afford to treat life as though it's a game. Walk with your inner part, your nous. Have some nous, watchfulness over your life. Eyes, your interior eyes, wide open. Then the next one, the second part of verse 2, it says, when will you come to me? So rule number 4 is anticipation. We must constantly anticipate God's presence in every situation that we find ourselves, because God will involve himself with you in every aspect of your life. He will constantly turn up, and you need to be looking for him wherever you go, in whatever situation, in whatever conversation you find yourself. Next rule, number 5, is personal vigilance. It says in the next part of verse 2, it says, I will walk in my house with a blameless heart. Personal vigilance. Your private life must match your public life. No point in pretending in front of others what you don't practice at home. So when you're at home and when you're on the streets, you're the same. There is integrity in your life. You're building a life wherein your home life and your public life, what you are when you're on your own and what you are in front of others, is identical, and you don't have to pretend. You're not afraid of somebody catching you unawares. Oh, who am I talking to? Then the next, rule number 6, verse 3, the very first part, it says, I'll set no vile thing before my eyes. And so rule number 6, watch your entertainment. True watchfulness means much more than general spiritual alertness. It means much more than just being vigilant in a surface kind of dimension. It's the process of watching all of my thoughts, everything, how my mind thinks and what I am fantasizing upon. And so through discipline of my mind, I can become pure and undefiled by watching what I think and how I think about things and where I let my mind run. I stop it before a thought gets a hold of me. Number 7. Next part of verse 3, it says, the deeds of faithless men I hate. The deeds of faithless men I hate. They will not cling to me. So rule number 7, choose your friends wisely. Surround yourself with people of integrity, and you will lift your own integrity. Entertain faithless people, and your integrity will be eroded and your character corrupted. Next rule, number 8, is valiance. Think of a valiant knight. It says in verse 5, the very beginning, it says, whoever slanders his neighbor in secret, him I will put to silence. And so determine that you'll be a defender of the defenseless. When somebody says some gossip about somebody, you shut them up. When somebody slanders somebody, you shut them up. Don't let them keep on talking like that, but defend somebody. They are not there to defend themselves, and so you defend them. Don't put up with that gossip and that slander and that kind of rubbish. You're in charge of your own integrity, and part of your integrity is being a defender of the defenseless. Speak up for those who don't have a voice. The next rule is meekness. Rule number 9, meekness. It says in the next part of verse 5, whoever has haughty eyes and a proud heart, him I will not endure. The trouble with pride is that it changes your view or perspective on everything. It changes your view of yourself and your view of the people around you and of the whole world around you. And the first sign of pride is seen in the eyes. You may not realize it. You may think that you can act pretentiously and do things pretentiously, acting as though you're humble. But the eye is the window to the soul, and a proud look you can't hide, and suddenly, flash, it's there, and you can see it in a person's eye. You wonder, where did that look come from? They're acting so humbly, they're acting so holy, but bam, there it is, just a look in the eye. Rule number 10, your mentors. It says in verse 6, my eyes will be on the faithful in the land, that they may dwell with me. He whose walk is blameless will minister to me. And so choose your heroes and your leaders and your pastors well. Choose those who speak into your life and minister to you well, because they will feed your soul, and whatever they have going on within them will become manifest in your life. So choose them well. Number 11 now. It says in verse 7, no one who practices deceit will dwell in my house. No one who speaks falsely will stand in my presence. So rule number 11 is value truth above all. The devil is a liar. Don't give place to him. Don't allow the lies of the enemy to stand tall in your mind. Don't entrust yourself to the lies of the enemy. And also don't entrust yourself to a liar. If someone lies to you even once, you might forgive them, but you can no longer afford to allow their voice to have any reign in your mind. Yes, there's a bit of wisdom. Number 12, the final rule. Silence all negative voices. It says in verse 8, every morning I'll put to silence all the wicked in the land. I will cut off every evildoer from the city of the Lord. So every morning you make a choice. Every morning you need to make a choice. Choose life. Because a life of integrity is not achieved by accident. You actively choose every day to live like this. You choose every day to live a righteous life, to live a life of integrity, to live a life wherein you're going to be a defender of the defenseless. Every day you choose to who you're going to hang around with and who you're going to listen to and who you're going to be reading and what you're going to be watching on television. Every day you make choices that build your integrity or that erode your character. And so choose wisely and choose life. There you go. 12 simple rules for life that will equip you and make you into a strong person, somebody that others will want to follow, somebody that others can hear, that you can speak integrity and truth into the lives of others and build them up and make their lives stronger for the future. So God bless you. We'll see you again tomorrow for a little more wisdom from the Lord.